Okay, Susie, we're all set here. How come you're frowning?
Okay. I hope everyone's been able to see the beautiful new moon in the sky. She really is quite beautiful.
There.
Mhm. And it just means we're moving further along into Elul as she continues to grow. Elul, this time of preparation for the new year, for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur and the days of awe. So this is preparation for the days of awe. What's the matter?
I'm trying to see who's here.
Can't see.
Oh.
You can't see them. But I don't know.
I can see you.
Okay. So I was thinking about how the president was going to talk about the soul of the nation.
Yeah,
tonight.
How appropriate that is.
Yeah, really, because Elul is about really the soul, preparing the soul. We don't take just a cheshbon, right? We take a cheshbon hanefesh.
Mm-hmm.
We take an accounting of the soul. So it's one thing to take stock of the last year.
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing to take stock of your life and the things that have happened and the relationships you've had. It's another thing, I think, to take stock of a heshbon of your nefesh, of your soul. So I thought maybe that would be something we could talk about, right?
Okay.
And the customs that come with taking a heshbon hanefesh, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what you were bringing tonight. I don't want to derail you.
No. I
have some pieces that you were going to offer.
I'm here to support you.
Yeah, right.
You lead, I'll follow. I'm happy to do that.
All right. Well, one of the...
You know why?
Why?
Because I'm bittul. I'm practicing bittul hayesh.
But that's exactly right. I mean, that's how you take a cheshbon hanefesh, right? It's
bittul hayesh.
So talk about that a little bit, because that's exactly right. That's
bittul
exactly what it
hayesh is a suppression of what is.
Mm-hmm.
Bittul means little, to become little.
Or kind of less, making room.
Bittul hayesh. The bittul of what is, the diminishing of what is, and what is usually pretty durable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to become bittul is a very serious thing. It's when you become less sometimes before you become more.
Mm-hmm.
First less, then more.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to clear out the space for something new to rise. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
And that's the form that mind takes.
Right.
And we learned this out last night from a verse in the Psalms, Psalm 100, verse 3. And where we had the lesson of the bittul hayesh, the suppression of the selffulness in order to clear out the space and make room for something else to rise.
Less self, more God. Less self,
you remember
more God.
when Moses went to the next world and Moses walked in on God, and what God was doing, God was attaching crowns to the letters of the Torah.
Right.
Moses says, well, this is what you're doing? God says, yeah. And Moses didn't understand, so God says, turn around, and Moses finds himself in the academy
of Rabbi Akiva
in the future.
Right.
And he doesn't understand the thing that's being taught until one of the students asked, so where did you learn that from, Rabbi Akiva? And Rabbi Akiva said, I brought it down from Moses on Sinai, I got it from Moses, and then he was restored. So he returns to God and he says, well, if you have a man like Akiva in the future, what do you need from me? What's my purpose? He's asking. What's my purpose? And God says a very interesting thing. God says, "Shtok." Shtok is usually interpreted to mean be quiet, but I read it, find your silence. That's what I did. I found my silence. I cleared out the space. And what rose in that space, the truth that rose, that arises in that space, that's where I found my purpose. I first found my silence, and I let the truth rise before me.
So I think that part of how this connects to this notion of cheshbon hanefesh, the accounting of the soul, and not so much the accounting of one's life. What's the difference? And I think that it's when one becomes unattached to being defined by stuff, being defined by titles and privilege and all the things that we define ourselves by or are defined by, when we are able to let go of those and leave space, as you say, right? To leave space, then we're able to begin to take that fishbone accounting of the soul, because it's not, it's there's no distractions. There's no distractions of all the other stuff, right? And so some of the, does that make sense?
Everything, it makes sense.
I think so. And that's why the bittul is so important, right? The bittul is so important. The letting go of all of the things that we get attached to, that we think define us. We have to, this, and you know, I think it really fits with Elul, because in Elul we say, Elul, the king is, it's kind of a sexist thing, but the king or God is in the field, right? God is in the field.
So the queen is in the field.
The queen is in the field. The goddess is in the field. It's this notion that that everything that we yearn for is so close. It's right there. Faith, trust, love, all of these things we yearn for. It's not so hard to find them. They're right there.
Really?
They're in the field.
That's good.
They're right there.
That's what happens in Elul.
That's Elul. That's the point, right?
Queen is in the field.
She's in the
Here's
field.
the other thing, though. The point of one of the points of that image is that, you know, usually our method of approach is so prescribed. You know, there's a language of approach. There's the rituals of approach.
Right.
But in Elul,
it's just blowing the shofar.
The king's in the field. Just go up to the king. Go up to the queen.
Just blast all the illusion away.
Speak
and go
to the
up.
queen.
Right.
But
right.
here's the other thing about that, though. You can hug the queen even, but don't forget the illusion of when you hug the queen, you're not hugging the queen, you're hugging her garments.
That's right. It's her garments.
It's
That's
the garments anyway.
That's right. That's so true.
Yeah.
So what are the customs then? How do we practice this? The blowing of the shofar every day.
Okay.
I mean, you know, just blowing of the shofar, just this blast, right?
What the shofar means is a whole other subject. It has so many significances. Sadhya Gaon cited at least 10
reasons for the shofar.
Yeah, and you know, Maimonides, let's stick with Maimonides for a second. Just wake up, people. Maimonides' take on it.
A jolt.
I'm usually satisfied with Maimonides, by the way.
Yeah.
And in my conversations with him, I am oftentimes satiated after speaking with him.
With Maimonides?
Absolutely. I don't need to speak to anybody else, man. I'm done for the week.
Well, you know, you have to love Maimonides. He was a physician, he was a philosopher, and he was
slow dancer,
a person of faith. You know, that really
and he lived a wild life.
Lived in many different in many different worlds, in
That's
many
right.
different spheres, and also interfaith. I mean, he was an interfaith kind of guy too. He kind of reached out into other communities.
Yeah, he
Right?
did so many things in his life.
Hmm. Yeah, he's a good guy. Maybe we'll do a Maimonides series. That'll be fun.
Okay.
So the first thing is the blowing of the shofar. The second thing we talked about last time was the reading of Psalm 27.
Oh yeah, Psalm 27. We should do that again, by the way.
Yeah, we'll do the whole.
I found another version even.
Oh, good. So the reading of Psalm 27, the slichot prayers. Every day
I'll
you
sing
say,
a
I'm
song.
sorry. Every day you say, So that's another one of the practices is slichot, these slichot prayers. These,
Mhm.
I mean, I really resonate with that. When you do this practice of bittul, when you get out of the way, you see where you can be part of the problem, and it humbles you, and you say, I'm sorry, but where do I need to do better? Where do I need to ask for forgiveness?
Mhm.
Right? And then another practice really is, we have these three Torah portions, Re'eh, right? In the first Shabbat of Elul, we had, look, I put before you right? We talked a lot about that, the blessing and the curse. Re'eh, see, I put before you. So the see, the singular, and I put before you the plural. There's just so much in that portion. The second portion is where we are now, Shoftim, Tzedek, Tirdof,
Don't
justice,
plant an Asherah tree
right.
by the altar of God.
Yeah, don't mix your, don't get so caught up in the
Except on
garments.
Shabbos. On Shabbos, we integrate it all.
We do, right? Yeah.
It's a ceremony of cosmic integration, all those separations.
Yeah. So we have it every week on Shabbat, but we have it even more so during Elul, right? And then the last one we'll read is Kitetse, right? So I'm gonna do. Can't. Oh my God.
I'm trying to find my Elul
Oh, that'd be good.
text.
Good.
It's not here anymore.
Yeah, but we could do something on slichot too.
It's gone.
On these penitential prayers that come during this time, these prayers that.
Okay.
What? Did you lose it?
I had a file. It's gone.
Maybe it was on the other.
Oh yeah, maybe.
It's on the other computer.
Okay. Anyway, I can get it back.
So, these practices, the blowing of the shofar, the reading of Psalm 27, the slichot prayers, and the reading of the Torah, and especially bringing all of these together on Shabbat during Elul. These are practices that really help understand what it means that God is in the field, and what it means to have divine closeness, to feel close to God. It changes everything. It changes it. It lessens some of the pain of living, that closeness to God, feeling that love, kind of that unconditional cosmic love. And it helps detach from all of the things that are holding us, keeping us from being free. Finding that bittul place, that place of less self and more God. Did you find what you're looking for?
I don't know what happened to it.
You had some slichot prayers, though. Why don't you do those?
It was in that file.
Oh, you lost the whole file?
Yeah. I mean, it's on here somewhere. All right. It's driving me crazy.
Okay. Well.
Nutty.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
Yeah. Sam says we should do a class on the shofar, which would be good. Not just the blowing of the shofar, but the meaning of the shofar, the calls of the shofar, the longing of the shofar, the wokeness, the waking us up of the shofar.
Yeah.
The three portions in a row, you know, Re'eh,
Yeah, look 'em up.
Shoftim, and Kitetse. They're Deuteronomy, you know, where we are right now. Where we are right now. And Jim, pick some. Maybe you should sing something.
I want to.
Come on, let's do Hodu. We haven't done that in a long time.
Okay, but I want to sing this Pewt first.
Oh, okay. Sing the Pewt. That would be good. Okay. Pewtim are the medieval poetry that typically are acrostics or
Anenu Elohe Abraham Anenu 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 V'chad Yitzchak Anenu 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 Avir Yaakov Anenu 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 Ha'one be'en ratzon Anenu 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 Ha'one be'etzara Anenu 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 answer us Anenu at the time of our tzuras, of our hurt and at the time of our rachmonas, mercy Anenu Ha'one be'et rachamim Anenu Anenu. That's a good one.
that's a good one.
I don't know what happened. Let me read the Psalm 27 before we finish.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah, that's the custom, you know, every day to read Psalm 27. And each day I've been trying to do this, and each day you get something different. Every day something different appears.
Oh, for shame. Okay.
Okay.
To David, sweet street singer, light on Rosh Hashanah, safe on Yom Kippur, all life and strength. I am not afraid. Fear could eat me up. Camped around me, adversaries. I have asked of God, only let me seek you. Visit now and again. In your house where you are hidden, in the tents, behind the rocks, hide me. I will sing, offer up my voice. You will hear me. Answer me, teach me, lead me on an even path. Around me, violence and emptiness. To see good in the land of the living, to be strong in heart and brave, patient. Okay.
So I think that's That's the message for today.
Is that it?
It's cheshbon hanefesh.
Okay.
It's not. It's the patience that it takes. It's the
Nefesh.
less. It's the bittul
Nefesh.
nefesh. It's the soul.
Mm-hmm.
It's and it doesn't come right. It may not come right away. What does it mean to be patient enough? Have this month, each day of Elul. We go from the new moon to the full moon, and then to the new moon again. And at that new moon, we have to be ready for the new year. And until then, we do this cheshbon hanefesh. Are those the levels of soul? You want to just talk about them for a minute?
We have 4, sometimes 5 names for the soul. Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Chaya, and Yechida.
Mm-hmm. And how are they different?
There are different depths of experience. Nefesh, most accessible. Ruach, a little deeper. Ruach is also wind.
Mm-hmm.
When the soul is in motion, when it's in motion, you experience it. Neshama, breath from breath, the breath of life. God breathed into Adam. Adam became a living soul, the breath of life. Chaya, life itself, very deep. And then deep, 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 Yechida, like Emerson,
Mm-hmm.
like the oversoul, the pool of soul.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 And that's the work of this time, so that we can be ready to be reborn on, as here's another thing I was kind of thinking about, and kind of a big conversation, but if Rosh Hashanah is the birthday of the world, the word for bara, right? God created the world, bara. But that's not birth, right? Birth takes time. Birth is conception, and the growing and the agony and the birth takes
Hayom
time.
Harath Olam, today, the conception of the world.
That's the key. I think it's different than the birth of the world. It's something that takes time, and something that takes nurturing and worry, right? And work and nurturing, and that's where we are. We don't just get to be born. We have to get there, right? Conceive.
Okay.
So work on that cheshbon, the inventory of the soul, and we'll be back. Right? We're going to end with something.
Say good night, Gracie.
You're going to end with something. You're going to end with something like prayer of the hands. Okay, that's good.
Close with a moment of quiet. Remembering our teachers, inspirations, influences, all our relations, our beloveds. Take your thumb now and run it up and down your heart line. Oops. Hey, what is that?
I don't know.
Somebody at the door? Take your thumb now and run it up and down your heart line. Now take your hands and put them together against your chest like Anjali Mudra. Take your left hand and set it within your right hand as in the Zohar. Feel it on your heart line. That's your physical and spiritual union on your heart line. Spend a moment in gratitude for all that you have received, given, received. Hold your hands away from yourself in a posture of blessing. Palms out. Spread your fingers. Now turn your palms up like the 5-petaled rose, the cup of blessing, the opening intention of the Zohar. You may drop your hands. Rub them together. Leave a moment for the silent expectation for peace. Peace of the near and peace of the far. The upper worlds and lower worlds will find each other. For this moment, you are the link. Take a deep breath. Say, Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Aleinu, Elohi Avraham, Aleinu, Aleinu.
Thanks for being with us on this Thursday night. In the month of Elul, remember the acronym ANI, Ladodi, Ladodi. I am my beloved, and my beloved is mine, is the hint that this month is about love.
You're here.
Sorry.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Hope everybody has a peaceful night. And we're doing services tomorrow night at CRC, 7 o'clock.
Okay.
We'll be there for Shabbat.
Okay.
Kabbalat Shabbat. Next Friday night. Tomorrow night. Tomorrow night we'll be there. And we'll be there next Friday night too for some reason. 2 in a row we got.
God.
Yeah, we're so lucky.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. So we love you and thank you for joining us, and happy Elul. A good Elul.